Daredevil Born Again, Episode 4, Semper Systema. We are really getting into it, and you know who's coming. So let's talk about it. All right, so Six Semper Systema. We already know with this, Punisher is on the way, especially after the last episode. Things have to be leaning in the direction of the Punisher. So what we end up having is Matt visits the morgue, and he basically gathers Hector's belonging, and he ends up seeing Angela Del Toro. He gets whatever facts and stuff that he can from the coroner just to understand what happened, because again, he does want justice for Hector, and he was taken out like point blank, cold blood, like it was an execution. So he's trying to figure out what's going on, but he keeps Angela from seeing it, and it looks like he takes or he gives her the property, which lets us know that she's probably going to be called out to as far as the chain is concerned. And while she was normally listed as the 5th user of White Tiger, looks like we're going to get her go ahead and being jumped to the 2nd user of the White Tiger persona. And possibly because of how young she is, she may be set up for the Young Avengers or possibly still stay with the Defenders. It's highly unlikely at this point. It just depends. So we're looking at that. While that's going on, we also see BB is partying with the aide, Daniel, and he is just spilling secrets about stuff that he ain't supposed to be talking to. BB is an investigative journalist. She's going to do what she can to get information, and that's what she got. So it doesn't look like it's nothing now, but definitely he was saying some stuff that I was like, you might not want to be talking, especially about, Mayor Fisk's business. We see Heather, who is counseling Fisk and Vanessa continually. You see Vanessa has moved closer, but this situation got a little out of hand, in my opinion, just because she's sitting there and you talk about stuff, and apparently there was infidelity that was involved. And while Fisk is upset about it, he still loves Vanessa very much, and he's trying to take care of her like he'd never do anything to her. And she knows this, which is why she can pretty much get away with anything. And she ended up having a lover at some point named Adam, who she sits there on the couch and closes her eyes and reminisces about his hands, because he used to paint the most beautiful things or something like that or whatever. Like, I don't know, like something to that effect. I was like, that is way too much. And you doing that right there in front of your dude? Like, really? Vanessa tripping. She ready. And, but Kingpin, he be tripping too, so don't get twisted. They perfect for each other. But they end up moving on from there, and we end up finding out that Leroy Bradford got picked up. And he was picked up for taking some caramel popcorn, some bags of caramel, some fiddle faddle. And it's a problem. So nice product placement. So he ends up getting locked up for it. So he ends up getting a lawyer, which is Matt Murdock, because the favor was called in. So he goes down to talk and try and figure out what's going on. And he's like, I want probation. That's what it is. I shouldn't get nothing else. Even though he's got a laundry list of crimes, including the only time he had probation was 11 crimes ago. He's been getting jail time, stuff like that. So, of course, Matt, trying to deal with this guy, ends up going to talk to, that looks like the prosecuting team. Ends up talking with a young lady. I did not catch her name, but I do know she is of Latvian ancestry, which is interesting itself because, again, we got Dr. Doom on the way, and having Latveria in full attendance and swing is going to be something. So the fact is that she's that gives us something. And as Bradford is talking about his case, he also mentioned the word Skrull. Like, could it have been a Skrull that have stolen the stuff and not me? Because I paid for that stuff last week. That's not really how paying for stuff works. So Skrulls and Latvia mentioned within close proximity of each other just screams freaking, connection to the MCU and whatever they're setting up to do. Now, Skrulls are still prevalent, and they are all over our society. We don't know who is, who isn't, whatever the case may be. So they have to be watched out for. So when someone says Skrull, we cannot take it lightly, because you still got this super powered Skrull with several powers of the Avengers and Guardians who's running around, possibly unchecked. Don't know. We got to talk about that later. But on the way out, Murdock ends up running into Powell, and after a brief sequence of them exchanging back and forth, Powell makes it known that he's a cop, his grandfather's a cop, and everybody wears his badge. It's proud of being it. And, they may not take too kindly to a lawyer interfering with an investigation. And of course, Matt's just like, maybe we should bring more guys next time because you weren't nothing. Like, that was cakewalk for him. Powell's not too happy about it, but they both move on. We get back to Fisk, who is now checking out the Red Hook, which is where those crimes and stuff have been taking place that we've been seeing. But he wants to upgrade Red Hooks for that. He wants to more or less take it over, gentrify, make it somewhere nice. They got the map laid out, all that kind of stuff. And while he's sitting there talking about this stuff, Sheila ends up getting the leak stuff from BB about Daniel talking. And it's just like, what are we going to do? Fisk is trying to get the Red Hook stuff done. Sheila's trying to push against it. And she's like, look, no matter what, I'm going to be here. I've been here before both of you. I'm going to be here freaking long after you. Now, she says this to Daniel, not to Fisk directly. She said, I'm going to be here long after you. No matter, because she's good at what she does. So she'll figure out how to handle this problem. While Daniel has been groveling and sucking up to Kingpin left and right. Sorry, Fisk, because he is not really Kingpin right now. And Tony will tell you that. But sucking up to Fisk left and right. And just, everything you say, boss, you're like, good, brown nosing like crazy. While this is, being a thing, and again, he orders Sheila to make the first move to figure out what we need to do. We see Matt, who goes back to where Hector died and is trying to figure out the thing that he needs to figure out in relation to the case. Like, something is missing. There was no casing recovered or the type of bullet at the scene. So what can I do? So he ends up being smart. He takes a bottle and knocks a bottle over while he's standing there in the same direction that he was found, and sees, sees is not the best term. He hears where it rolls to and manages to go in there, reach and find a shell casing with a logo on it. After he finds this, he goes to go see somebody. He goes to find Frank. Yes, Frank is back, and Frank almost took him out as he came in, but they ended up having a conversation, a bit of tough love because again, Frank is like, what are you here for? Like, you want to do everything, but you're not doing everything like you need to do. Foggy took the L. He let him know, it's like, you need to say his name because he's the one who lost out on this. It doesn't matter that, damn Dex got life, sort of that. But what about Foggy's life? And doing stuff like Matt's starting to break down. He doesn't break fully, but he's definitely starting to break because he found out that the bullet casing had Punisher's logo on it, which is why he went to go visit Frank. And Frank is like, they're just a bunch of fanboys doing a bunch of stuff. But if anybody knows Frank like I do and like Tony does, that he's not going to take that line down. You're not going to go kill in Frank's name. He's not about that. So he's got to go figure out what's going on. So I think that's what Frank's next steps are. While Daredevil look like he's back on the end because it looks like he needed that little bit of a break to kind of figure himself out and figure out what he needs to do. Kingpin and Vanessa are still kind of going at it. Again, the therapist is checking on Vanessa, make sure she's not in any danger of being abused. And she's like, he's the last person to do something to me. Like, and just her staying to talk to Vanessa, like, that's putting her in danger because Kingpin, again, ain't no slouch when it comes to taking people out when he's angry. Even when he found out that Daniel leaked everything, the fact that he forgave him instead of putting some pain on him for leaking this and letting the stuff out, so with that was just a whole different side of Kingpin that we're not seeing. But again, when he comes to his emotions, he's been soft. He got soft with Vanessa. He got soft with Echo. He's soft with Daniel. Like, it's not a good look. And it's not a good Kingpin right now. So we got to wait till we get Kingpin like off his rocker to really probably get some of that damage dealing that we're used to seeing with him. But even with that being said, we see Matt leave, Frank and kind of go back, and we see the storeroom. He's got several masks, and it looks like we even got a couple. So we got the gray, we got the yellow, they got the red, and it looks like we got the dark red, which is more or less reminiscent of the Dark Devil, which is what we could be getting. But he started practicing with his Billy Club and just kind of get ready to be able to get back into combat. So that's something that we're waiting to see as far as stepping up, because we haven't had a lot of action these past couple episodes. So I'm definitely eager to get in there and see some more action, see some more fighting, some skills, because that's one of the things this show is built on is Daredevil scrapping. So that's what we need to see. So with that being said, next episode, some fighting. It doesn't have to be Daredevil, but Punisher, New White Tiger coming into effect, Kingpin putting some hurt on somebody. I need something because things are happening and violence is like part of this storyline. And with that being said, at the end of it, we see very particular things. Adam, which is the one that was having the affair with Vanessa, is locked up in Kingpin's personal cell somewhere. And Kingpin comes to have dinner and watch him suffer, cry for help, or whatever the case would be, and just bask in it. While we see the muse present taking a body where they want to take it, and looks like they're getting ready to do some of their very particular brand of work. So Muse is in effect, New White Tiger possibly on the horizon. Frank Castle is back in the mix. We're moving with the story. We're getting somewhere. So we just need to see where we're going to go and how we're going to get there throughout the rest of this storyline. And what you can do for me is you can go right over to that subscribe button and make sure you hit that button if you're not already. We appreciate everybody that comes through and hangs out with us and stuff like that. We do have subscriptions and stuff up. If you want to check them out and help us out anyway, we surely would appreciate it. But for now, just you joining us and hitting that like button if you like the video and talking to us, leaving a comment down below. Hey, we appreciate everything. It makes this that much more fun for us to have these conversations. But that's all we got for this one. Again, we want some more action in the next one. And let's see where this goes with Daredevil Born Again. Catch you guys in the next one. Later.